Hello everyone, this is Sanka here. Today I'm going to talk about how to write your first graphical user interface program on Qt. At this point, I believe all of you have installed Qt Creator on your laptop. If you haven't installed Qt Creator, please follow my first video link to install Qt Creator on your laptop. Alright, let's get started. If you have installed Qt Creator successfully, and if you open the Qt Creator, you will see the welcome page. So this is the Qt Creator project welcome page. Now first thing is to create a new project. So in order to create a new project, we're gonna click this new project button. And under the new project sub window, you will select the application under the projects and also Qt widgets application. So when you select all that options, you can click choose button, which will leads you to the project introduction window. So this is where we're gonna pick a name for our project and a location. Of course, I'm gonna call it my first GUI. Okay, so you can give any name you want, and you can select a place to save your project. So I'm gonna select desktop and the next button. So now it will open up another window called kit selection. At this point, we are not going to change anything. We're going to leave it as it is, and we're going to hit next button. And this window is called class information. As previous, we are not going to change anything at this time. Alright, so we're going to leave as default, and we're going to hit next button. And for the last one, for the project management, again we're gonna hit the finish button. Alright, so now after you hit the finish button, it will open up and it will create all the necessary files for GUI on Qt. If you take a look at this, your left hand side, so there is a window called Project Explorer, this one. So under the Project Explorer, you will see a lot of files created. So the first thing that we need to pay our attention is this .pro file. So go ahead and double click on that. It will open the .pro file. So but right now we are not going to change anything for that .pro file. So this .pro file is the project configuration file. In the future, we will do some coding for this project file. So but right now we don't need to worry about it. I will explain when it's come to that point. Right. So let's go ahead and expand this header file. So you will see there is a header file called main-window.h. And right now you don't need to worry about what is a .h file, what is a .pro file. If you expand this source, you will see there are two files called main-window.cpp and main.cpp. So for this part, we only need this main-window.cpp. Go ahead and double click that button. So this is where we are going to do most of our coding to do something on the graphical user interface. Okay, now the most important thing is how to change the graphical user interface, or how to add graphics onto the graphical user interface. To do that, we have to go ahead and expand this forms button, and you will see there's a file called main-window.ui. Okay, go ahead and double click that one. Okay, now it will open up a graphical user interface designer page. So this is where we are going to design our graphics, right? So you can see there is a form. Form is the main tile that we see when the program is running. All right, so before we do anything, let's go ahead and run this program. To run this program, we need to go to the left bottom corner. You will see there are two green arrows. So we will click the first run a green arrow, not the arrow with the bug mark, but just a clean clean green arrowhead. Okay, go ahead and click that. So it will take some time to debug the files, and eventually we will see a small form appears on the windows. Okay, if everything goes correctly, you will see this main window forms appears, because now the program is running. Now this is the very basic program. Right now we haven't coded anything, it just open up the main form called main window. Alright, let's go ahead and close that main window application. Again, let's go to do some programming. Okay, so before do that, so let's drag a button on the form. So you can just, there is the text box called filter on the top. You can type button, B-U-T-T. So there are several buttons. We are going to use this push button right now and drag that push button onto this form area. So you can expand the form, you can change the size of the form by just drag from a corner, and even for the push button you can change the size if you want. All right, okay, that's right. So that's all. Okay, and then let's go to this edit, because we are going to write some program for the program. So let's go let's go and click this edit button. You can find this edit button on the left top corner. So, and again you can click main window.cpp on the project explorer. Double click on it so that it will open up the main window.cpp. This is where we need to do our coding. All right, so under this you will see there are two functions, this one and this one. Okay, so right now we are gonna write our code on this function, main window, first this function. So after this UI arrow setup instruction, we're gonna write UI. So UI is the variable that we use for call the main graphical user interface, UI. Then you can hit arrow mark. Okay, so now the good thing about Qt is it's give you the coding assistant. Coding assistant means it will suggest things for you. So now as you see, when you press that arrow mark, when you create that arrow mark, so it will open up all the possible options for you. So we're gonna type push button. Okay, so now the push button is the name of the button that we created on the UI. So let's go back to main window UI once again. Double click on the main window UI, so and click on the push button, then it will be selected. If you go to your right hand side, you will see the project, sorry, not the project, property window for that push button. Property window. If you select the push button, the property window for push button will automatically appear on your right hand side. So in the very top you will see something called queue object, and under the queue object there is something called object name. So under the object name, the name of this object is the push button. Okay, now that is the name that we are gonna use in our program to call this button. If we need to change something for this push button, for an example like the label or the color, we are gonna use that name in the program. Okay, all right, let's go back to our program. All right, click on edit and go to the project explorer and double click on main window.cpp. Okay, now UI is the graphical user interface, and okay, so now the push button. So what we need to do is we're going to change the text and the color of the push button when the program is loading. Okay, we're going to set the text color, set text, sorry, we're going to set the text on the button, and we're going to say hello. Oh, hello world. All right, and then we're going to set the push button the background color. So to set the background color, we are going to use something called set style property, set style sheet property, and we're going to say under the double quotation, we're going to say background dash color colon, and let's say red. All right, so let's try to run this program to see whether we get the expected results. Okay, let's see. As we see on the window, it's the text of the button has changed to hello world, and also the background color to the red. Let's try to change this word. Let's call it test 1, and let's change the background color to green. All right, so let's run it again. So the red green arrow on the left hand corner. Oh, you see, now it has changed its text to test 1 and also to the green. Okay, now this is the very first program on graphical user interface design on Qt, and this is the very simple program. We are gonna do more than that in the class. Okay, but try to write this program on your own and try to get some experience on it. Okay, please email me if you have any question further, and I'm happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much. See you in the class.